Park ride distorted people's faces. Name: Lena Sorensen, age 44, 5'4", occupation teacher, med notes, not applicable. Lena brought her first grade class to Liminal Land in winter of 1984. While there, Lena decided to take the children to the park's Paradise Playrooms. Lena remained with the children for 7 minutes before she suddenly left the building through the rear exit. Damn, you telling me she dipped on her first grade class? The children were left alone for 8 hours and never noticed she left. Huh? Lena's body was discovered in a patch of dirt behind the Liminal Land anomaly. The following photo is an illustration of her facial structure after her body was recovered. Lena's deformity. Wow. Wow. Lake Valley Police refuses to elaborate on their findings from the crime scene. They were definitely paid off or something, or they were in on it.
I ordered an iPhone from the dark web. Let's unbox this. Is there an actual iPhone in here? There is. Does it still work? It turns on. But why is there a green line? Huh? It's ringing. John Pork is calling. Who is John Pork? Who is this big man?
Satanists believe that they have to reveal who they are in some way, shape, or form. So that is why we see a lot of these occult members in Hollywood constantly flaunting symbolism. We see the pyramid, the Illuminati pyramid a lot. We see the evil one eye constantly. It's always on the cover of magazines. We see these are supposed to be the 666 devil symbols. We constantly see those symbols. We also see pedophile symbols, the swirl or the triangle within a triangle.
I guarantee this wasn't his first.
And we also see a lot of these members of the cult go on their social media and they talk about raping children. They talk about worshiping Satan. And people write it off as a joke, but they're not joking. I don't care if you're a major comedian.
A man and his son have been having a hard time dealing with what appears to be a shadow person inside their homes. He decided to start recording these events, and what he captured on camera is creeping the entire internet out.
I keep hearing sounds in my bathroom. I don't know what it is. I haven't whistled, I haven't messed with this thing. Holy crap. No freaking way. Did you see that?
Yes.
Did you see that? It's okay. Okay, you'll say I'm cutting, so I'm gonna go nice and slow here. In there. There's no way somebody slipped out right there. My back's against the wall. There's nothing in the closet. No feet, no nothing. Holy crap. Nope.
In one of his next videos, he was actually able to capture this shadow person on camera. Check this out.
Yes? Hello? What is that? Who are you? I'm not gonna hurt you. Leave my lights alone.
Let's talk about the black-eyed children. According to legend, black-eyed children usually come to your house at night. They'll come to your vehicle if you're alone in the parking lot or places where there aren't many people.
If you guys see this video, take a look at how nice.
It disappears as soon as she pans the camera back. They usually tell you that they need help with something, or maybe that they're lost, but the main thing is they want to be let in to wherever you are. They'll try and say anything to get inside, and if you tell them no, they'll start to get a little aggressive, being persistent, saying things like, "You must let me in. I need to be let in." They'll become extremely desperate. And if you decide to let them in, wait, before I continue, your third act comes to your door with black eyes. Let me know who it is, and would you let them in? You see, black-eyed children are dark entities. And just like vampires, they're not allowed in without permission. If you let them in, they will...
I found a co-op multiplayer horror game for mobile where the ghost can actually hear you speak. You guys always ask me for mobile horror games, and this one looks insane. Scrylight is an upcoming mobile horror game where you have to hunt ghosts in the real world using augmented reality. You can hunt alone, with friends, around your house, or even in the neighborhood. The game will also be able to connect with smart devices around your house, and the ghost will be able to use these devices to speak with you, like your Amazon Alexa or your smart doorbell. In the game, you're continuing the work of an occultist named Jeremiah Scry who figured out ways to interact with the dead. T.W. Burgess, who made Photoghasts, is also working on the project. The game is still really early in development, but the concept sounds amazing. I signed up for alpha access, so if I get in, I'll let you guys know what I...
So y'all know how I did my favorite jump scares, right? Well, this comment said they would have put the scene when Bathsheba was sitting on top of that dresser in The Conjuring. And I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm with you when you're right, dog. I'm with you when you're right. Because everything about that scene was perfectly done. The music, the tension, the ambience, everything. Even that little slight moment where you thought wasn't nothing finna happen, and then boom, there she go. Let's roll the clip. Let's get into it.
The movie The Strangers. The premise of the movie is this couple is out at the husband's dad or mom's like vacation home, right? The husband like goes out for something and the wife is home alone and she gets a knock on the door. There's this little girl with like a mask on and then she says, "Is such and such home?" And she's like, "No, they don't live here," right? So they leave, they come back. Long story short, it is a murderous family that just kills people just to kill people. She asks them, "Why are you doing this?" And she like giggles and she says, "'Cause you were home." What's crazy about this movie is it's actually based on a true story. So in April of 1981, the town of Keddie was shocked by the murder of this family. It was this mom named Sue, her son John, his friend Dana. Their bodies were found in the morning by her other daughter who wasn't home. She was staying the night with a friend. Like they were brutally murdered. It scares people because it's just normal, regular people living out their evil dark.
In 2004, a woman named Maura Murray disappeared while driving on a remote road in New Hampshire. Her car had crashed into a snowbank, but when police arrived just 10 minutes later, she was nowhere to be found. For years, investigators searched for any trace of Maura, but all they found were some strange clues. For example, Maura had packed her bags and left her dorm room at the University of Massachusetts Amherst without telling anyone where she was going. She had also withdrawn $280 from her bank account, and no one knows where that money went. In addition, a witness reported seeing a person matching Maura's description walking along the road shortly after the accident. When the witness offered to call for help, the person ran away into the woods. Despite numerous searches and investigations, Maura Murray has never been found. To this day, her disappearance remains one of the most baffling unsolved mysteries in the United States.
Let's talk about a scary horror game where the rules of Minecraft are broken. A Craft of Mine. Full playthrough right here. Now, this is not a Minecraft mod, it's its own unique game. And it starts off with a very simple premise. Your uncle used to work at Mojang, but he recently went missing. So you log into his computer, find his local Minecraft server, and start playing. However, what you find is disturbing. Your uncle was frustrated that the crafting aspects of Minecraft were never updated, and he felt the game could be so much more. So he took the limiter of the crafting tables off and made it so any combination of any items in the game produced something. This resulted in warped and disturbing entities being created, and you have to face them. Your uncle felt like a god. In his mind, he felt he could create life out of anything. But just because he could, doesn't mean he should have.
Have you ever heard the expression, love is dead? Well, this guy took that saying a little too literally. Karl Tanzler was a German radiologic technician living in Florida in the early 1930s. It was there that he first met a young woman by the name of Marina Elena Milagro de Hoyos, or just Elena. She was 22 years old and suffering from terminal tuberculosis. Desperate to save her, Elena's family hired Tanzler to help. He would try out all sorts of experimental and oftentimes very painful treatment methods on her, all the while professing his undying love for his new patient. A love which she did not reciprocate, and I can't really blame her. But despite his best or worst efforts, nothing worked and Elena would tragically pass away. And that's when things started to get really weird. After her funeral, which Tanzler arranged, rumors began to arise that Elena's body had been removed from her grave. But it wasn't until 7 years later that Elena's sister would confront Karl, revealing the horrific truth. Karl Tanzler had been living with a corpse for nearly a decade. He had stuffed her body with coat hangers and tissue paper to combat the decomposition, and his ultimate plan was to send her into space in the hopes that the radiation would restore her to life. In the end, Elena's body would be returned to its rightful grave, and he would go uncharged. Tag someone you love to death and beyond, and follow for more.
Supposedly, there's a monster in Romania that's being held inside of their zoo. Check out the video and let me know what you think.
These are some facts that could save your life one day. If you've been stabbed or punctured by a sharp object, your immediate thought's probably going to be, I need to get this out of my body right now. But unfortunately, that's the last thing you want to do. When you get stabbed by an object, it actually is used as a plug to stop the bleeding from happening, and if you take it out, you're going to start pouring blood everywhere, you're going to lose more blood, and you'll die. This is a pretty simple one that I've talked about before, but if you ever are at the beach and you hear a roaring sound, the ground starts to shake, or you notice the water starting to recede from the shore very quickly and a lot farther than normal, run for your life to high ground. This is because these are all the telltale signs that a tsunami is headed directly for you, and yeah, you're just not going to make it out of that if you stay on the beach. And this is perhaps the most important one that I have. If you're ever traveling abroad or you're not in your home country, most places, especially over in Europe, you can use your phone and dial 112. This will automatically connect you to the nearest emergency service, and they'll get you the help that you need. Also, even if you don't have phone service, you can dial 911 in America and it will still contact you through to a dispatcher. Look, I'm just trying to help you out over here today, alright?
Can you imagine you're coming back home and you see someone in the middle of nowhere acting very strange? When you get close, you realize that this person's face, it's not human, and it tries to get in your car. This is what happened to this man. Pay close attention.
There was somebody walking in that distance. It looked really, really sketchy. It's like right under that sign over there. Let me try to zoom it in for you guys. See if you guys can see anything. No, I'm gonna have to put the lights over there by the car. I'm trying to get you guys a picture of this, but this thing is scary as I have never seen no one look like this or be like this. See if you guys can see it with the light down there. Oh no, still too far. I'm getting on the road here by it and I don't see nothing still. I'm gonna zoom it out. Where did they go? I don't know where they went. What the? He's standing like under the sign over there. I don't know if you guys can see that. He's legit like standing under that sign right there. Just like right there on the side of the road. See that right there? Do you see that? Who the? But they got like some weird mask or something on. What the is that? What the? Oh, what the?
Here are 5 new movies available to stream this month. Soft and Quiet came out in 2022, but it's now being added to Netflix. And people have been suggesting I watch it recently. It's about an elementary school teacher who organizes a mixer of like-minded women, and an encounter with someone from her past spirals a chain of events. Next is The Mother starring J-Lo. It's about an assassin who comes out of hiding to protect the daughter she left behind. Next is Consecration starring Jenna Malone. It's about a woman who's traveling to a convent in Scotland to find out what happened to her brother. Once there, she unravels the mystery and discovers disturbing truths about her past. Next is Influencer, which is about a social media influencer on a solo backpacking trip in Thailand. While she's there, she meets a woman whose intentions soon become questionable. Last is Reality, which is a drama thriller starring Sydney Sweeney. It's based on the true story of a woman named Reality Winner, who was a former NSA translator who was accused of leaking government secrets.
Creepy Urban Legends Part 9. This abandoned nunnery in Utah is said to be haunted by the spirit of a nun. The nunnery, also known as St. Anne's Retreat, was gifted to the church in the 1950s by the Hatch family. The church began to use the resort as a vacation spot, or so that's what they wanted people to think. Legend says that they began sending the nuns, who were impregnated by priests, to the resort, so they could give birth to the children and put them up for adoption discreetly. But one of the nuns who gave birth wanted to keep her child and was not okay with giving him up. She snuck into the nursery and took her baby, but that's when the head nun began to chase her. She decided to eye her baby near the pool and started making loud noises in the opposite direction in hopes they wouldn't find the child. She was able to loose the nun behind her and returned to pick him up when she thought it was safe to. But when she got back, she noticed the baby's body floating in the pool. There was nothing she could do to save him. It was too late. That same night, she took her own life. Visitors now claim the abandoned resort to be haunted. The cries of the baby could still be heard, as well as
Oh no. No, 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 no.
There has only ever been one horror movie that I could not finish all the way through, and I had to turn it off. And it's not because it was scary, it was because it was absolutely terrible. And that was Hyenas. The plot of this movie is that there is a supernatural group of people that can turn into hyenas, and they're like a traveling pack that goes around the city. But there's one man, Costas Mandalore, who is seeking revenge because, like, years ago, this same pack, like, ate his wife and child. The movie is very, very bad. Honestly, it does not deserve a 20%. The dialogue, terrible. But the effects, the CGI, horrible. Like, just for funsies, in case any of you decide to go watch this movie, I'm not gonna show you what it looks like because it's that bad. Like, it's funny. And like, typically I would say this movie is like, oh, so bad, it's good, like in a funny way. But to be honest, I tried to watch it by myself and it was so boring. But me, my boyfriend, and one of my friends, we're all gonna get together and watch it because one of my favorite Saw actors is in it. So